Well, greetings, you kings and queens of the highway, and all you office drones dreaming of trading ties for tailgates. Welcome to another episode of How Much Did This X-Suit Make Hauling Freight This Week? I'm your host, the Sage of the Interstate, here to sling some wisdom for anyone itching to join the trucking life, or maybe hitch their wagon to a carrier like Cheeseman. Today, we're diving into the art of lanes. Every carrier's got lanes, those routes you'll run so often you'll know every pothole, diner, and grumpy receiver by name. You'll haul the same freight, hit the same stops, and cruise the same stretches of America week in, week out. And let's be real, that's a beautiful thing. It's like your favorite dive bar. You know the vibe, your pals with the receivers, and you can swagger in like a trucking rock star. You master the docks, the shortcuts, even that warehouse guy who secretly loves your terrible puns. Routine? It's the warm, toasty biscuit of this job. But hold up, don't get too comfy. Sometimes you need to shake things up, like a trucker who's had one too many espressos. A good carrier like Cheeseman lets you lean into your go-to lanes and gives you the chance to roam when you're feeling wild. Want to haul some forklift parts to a new state? They've got you. It's that mix of steady and spontaneous that keeps the road from turning into a snooze fest. Do you know how hard it was for me to get used to dispatchers asking me what I wanted to do next when I first came here? Now here's where I get all Dr. Phil on you. If you're thinking about trucking, do your homework. Research the carrier you're thinking about, make sure their lanes vibe with your life. If you live in Maryland but sign on with a carrier running the Western 11, you'll see your couch about as often as Bigfoot. Pick a carrier whose routes swing by your home time zip code so you're not stuck missing your dog or your favorite pizza joint. Trust me, location matters, and this carrier has the lanes that work for me. Oh, and speaking of covering ground, I just added 5 more states to my 2025 state map this week. That's right, I'm out here collecting state lines like they're rare baseball cards. And nothing beats crossing a new border to remind you why you ditched the corner office for the open road. Here's the takeaway. Find a carrier with lanes you can love, room to roam, and routes that get you home when you need it. That's the recipe for a career, not just a paycheck. Now let's get to the good stuff. How much did I pull in this week hauling for the fine folks at Cheeseman? Stick around because the numbers might make you spit out your coffee. Let's roll. First, we'll talk about my logs for the week. I was paid for 3,365 dispatched miles. I had 3,226 logged miles. The day in orange, I was on a paid 34-hour reset. Let's look at my unedited pay statement for period 19 of 2025. This includes all trips from April 27th to May 3rd. Detention paid $60. Empty miles paid $43. Securement paid $147. Placarded miles paid $21, loaded miles paid $2,143, and stops $210. Total earnings for this week was $2,624. 19 weeks into the year, my gross income is $43,412, and my total miles is $55,991. That averages out to $2,285 per week and 2,947 miles. Estimated out over 52 weeks, my estimated annual is $118,811. Year-to-date numbers as of week 19 of 2025, I've been paid for 55,991 miles, covering 31 states, making 133 stops. 95% of those miles have been loaded. That averages out to 77.6 cents per mile. Here's the home time that I've taken this payroll year through the end of the 19th week. I have been on home time 13 times so far, totaling 32.6 days. I also have 5 overnight breaks at the house and 6 paid 34-hour resets on the road. I am not paid hourly, but let's calculate like an hourly job. For the week, my gross pay was $2,624 for 63 hours of work. If we break it down into a typical hourly job, it could be 40 regular hours and 23 hours of overtime, resulting in an effective pay rate of $34.91 per hour. For the year, my gross pay so far is $43,412 for 1,109 hours of work. If we break it down into a typical hourly job, it could be 732 regular hours and 377 hours of overtime, resulting in an effective pay rate of $33.47 per hour. Taking a look at the if only truck drivers were paid for every hour in the truck calculation page. 19 weeks have gone by so far that totals 3,192 hours. I have been at home 782 of those hours. That works out to 2,410 hours from the pre-trip leaving home to the post-trip returning home. My compensation through week 19 is $43,412. That works out to $1,801 per hour away from home. As always, make sure you're enjoying every day at work.